on page Reish Nun Ches in the Shar Gavonos, to the Gavonos in Tzitzit, and we're over here where it says Tam. What's the reason? Lam HaTzitzit, the Koin tashmishei Mitzvah. I tried tashmishei is like support for a mitzvah or something like that. But tefillin the Koin tashmishei kedusha. There's a difference between mitzvah and kedusha here. So he says, sorry, the boy of Lam HaTzitzit, and the Koin tashmishei Mitzvah. So why are they called by this name? So he's of tefillin tashmishei kedusha. Well, Indian, so the Indian is this. Tzitzios, rather, requires tashmishei mitzvah, tashmishei me'irim, because they shine el hanukva dezer anpin and nekras mitzvah. So he says he's coining an idea here that the nukva dezer anpin is called mitzvah. I think we just saw this. I don't know if we maybe saw it in the same place. The tefillin heim nequine tashmishei kedusha. Or makiv el mochen de zer anpin handik kedusha. So it has to do with zer anpin. Shehem meirim. He says the first part. He says tashmishei mitzvah. He says shehem meirim halanukva. So they shine to the nukva. Over here he says the vishehem bechinas or makiv el mochen de zer. Just to change it to mitzvah from nukva to zer anpin. But the language here is that he used the word makif. So let's see where this would be then on the number pay test. He says, just reading the light print, he says, is rocking, so therefore you can cast them aside. Nignazim. So I guess that goes on the tashmishei kedusha. So it actually is the action that is ascribed to it. So he says that tashmishei mitzvah, which is okay. We'll go on to that. He said anyway. Let's skip nignazim, so that the tefillin have to be hidden. Who was the reason? Mitzvah. So why do we call him by this name? He says he came in Shaha'or HaMakiv Shalatzitzis because the tzitzis represent Or Makiv. Meir El Hanukta Zer Anpin is shining to the nook of Zer Anpin. And then he said, V'Hanukta Zer Anpin Nikras Mitzvah. So he said, what? The Makiv is shining on the mitzvah. The B'Shum Kach HaTzitzis Nikra tashmishei mitzvah. V'Hi Yosim Mashmeshes of Me'ira Abanuk HaNikras Mitzvah, because they work with the nook, which is called mitzvah. They shine on her, so they're connected to her, so therefore, so it doesn't really say why it would be cast aside. It just says because that's the nature of the that's the nature of the tzitzit. V'atam shetefillin nekwan tashmishei kedusha hu kevet v'shaha'or hamakiv shal tefillin hu or hamakiv al hamochen dezer anpin, since they're actually the makif dezer anpin now. The mochen dezer anpin nekwan kedusha. So we have these two words now, mitzvah and kedusha. Kedusha is panini. The mishum kachat tefillin nekwan tashmishei kedusha. So for this reason, that's why the tefillin are called by the name tashmishei kedusha. Mishamshim, yeah. The Mishamshim Amira al Kedusha, because they're serving or they're supporting Kedusha. Shahim Hamochin is their anpin, which is the Mochin is their anpin, then the Asidram or Makif. So, and they make a more or Makif over there. So you see that there's a difference. The Nukva is called mitzvah. And okay, this would go on, and the male aspect is called what does he say? It's called kedusha. Okay, so kedusha is panini. So let's look at the next one. Yavoy v'pratos inyan amochem miyotzim misaros reisha that they're anpin. Now we had some questions. He said that there were like red, white, and what was the other color? Black. hairs growing out of the head of Zeranpin. And he went through the different hairs. So I had questions about well, he said that the white comes from Eric Onpin, or so I assumed. And then he told the story about the striking of the back of the head of Zeranpin, or striking his mohit. So I assume maybe he means that's where the white comes from. So then the question is, well, the red goes over to the nook in some way. We just know that's a fact, and we also know that the black is really streaming out of the head of Zeranpin. So he said, there are three different aspects to the hair in the head of Zeranpin. And these are them. Kotzim memoach hadas. So there's the kotzim, they come from the moach hadas, which is the middle. Zesha Amar Kids Boisov or Kids Boisov, till Taltalin. So this is the what you called it. These are the kotzim. Going on. Ki kotzim aim asara and masara shemos elokim shebedas. Because the kotzim really refers to what are kotzim, the five different names elokim that are found in the das. Chamesh geburos. So he says, since they're what was his phrase? 1 second. He says his phrase was Ki Hakotim He Masar Shemos Elokim. Their name's Elokim is the name of Katniss. Bechinas Katniss Kanoida. Oh, he says it. Kaniska the Elki Chatzitzis Adam Min Hagadlus, because tzitzis don't come from godless. No, it's interesting. So go to 10 times 86, and gematria tal. So this is tal talim, the tal part of tal talim. Tal chasadim v'tal gevuros. Okay, that's how they figure. Now wait a minute, I'm not that fast. 860. Tal is 430. So he wants to say that one tal, which is 430, represents the Chasadim, and one tal, which is Gevuros, represents the Gevuros. I don't know if it's significant. That's the fact. So he says, if you count up their letters, add that onto it. So he said, what, 10 times 5? Hare Chamishim, that's 50. Hare told Talmud. So that's what he says. That's what you could do. You want to look at it like that? You can look at it like that. So the Ninim, now we're switching to Ninim. They come from the Muach left side, Muach. And the hairs, they come from the Muach HaChachma. But he says, Kasaros Hem Ketanim, that the hairs themselves are really small. Or makif nizah atzma, so they become or makif nizah himself. Now he said that's what's going to come to zah. Vahanimim came beinim. So the nimim are in between. They're not short. They're not long. V'hem or makif laleya, and they become or makif for leah. V'hakotzim hem aruchim. V'hem or makif l'rachel. So we have kotzim are longer, and therefore become a makif to rachel. Now we're bringing detail into. Just looking to find out a little bit more. Okay, so let's look at number Tzadi Ches. Tzadi Ches, where is it? Here it is. He said, "V'hasa'aros yotzim memreisha is their anpin." I don't want to talk about that. Yesh v'chem shlosh minisa'aros. Now we're not talking about the colors of the hairs here. He's talking about the what they are, their names, how they act, what they do. V'haros nikraim kotzim. That is the hair, v'hasaros nikraim, those hairs which are called kotzim. Yosef Bereshis, their anpin bekoach muach hadas, so they come out flowing through the muach hadas, the parts of their anpin. So they come out for the muach hadas of their anpin. So therefore, we have this concept of I keep getting this mixed up. The kotzim, but the kotzim are hanging. So we'll go through that. Kerakotim solchim bechazer anpin, because these kotzim they grow out of their anpin. Behind the me'eser shemos elokem, they come from these 10 names of Elokem. Ve'eder eser shemos elokem makorim v'shorshim bedas is their anpin. Okay, so where we have here, we said we have Alzin the Ember Pasuk Itzois, the Talmud Kiakotim Somchim Mechazam V'Hainim Me'eser Shemus Elokem. And then he said the Edel Eser Shemus Elokem, the Korim B'Shorshim B'Das is Zeranpin, so we're in Zeranpin. And the Das is Zeranpin. Eser Shemus Elokem, so he says each one of those, and the Das is Zeranpin, is an Elokem, so there's 10 of them, Asher B'Das. Now, Chlochim Chamesh Gevuros, they get divided into 4 Gevuros by Chasadim. He's like, I'm just saying Chamesh Gevuros or Chamesh Chasadim. So, 5 Gevuros, 5 Chasadim. Is that what is there? Anton Bechiyos at the Kantas. Okay, so then we see this right that, of course, he's using Elokems, so therefore he's referring to Kantas. Shatzitzias, Amaranzing the Kotzim, so the Tzitzias, let's say the Tzitzias, they like Kotzim. And England in the Mokim Shalagadis, they're not coming from God. So Tzitzit doesn't come from God. That would mean the Mokim is Manakatan. So the thing came Maramaz of B'Shem Elokim Daikas, so therefore they're bringing a remez to the name Elokim itself. Shahim Hashem is Manakatan, because that's the name. So you're bringing all these Katnas. So in Katnas, that's where we get this, maybe this concept Kotzim, Gevutza, no Taltalim, but we'll see how it goes. The aim of their Muslim, the Halavai Shahim Bisman Adalas. The aim of their Muslim, the Halavai Shahim Bisman Adalas. So we're talking about Elokems, not Havayas. That's the time in Elokems. So take that. Shahim Kamisha Kusada, the Kamisha Gevutza. So repeat Elokem, all the Bigamatria Poo. So, that's Pamin Poo. Olin Tatas. So let's say that's 860. So now what do you got here? Shahim Gematria, Tau. That's what it is, 40, 430, 430. Now this has to do with the time of compass. The Haim Shnei Pamim Tau, the Tevis Tau. So this is the 2 times we have Tau that come from the name Tau. The Hiyosin, Miskalkin, the Shneichem, that they're split into 2. So the divorce that we're talking about at the continents. Tal Ha'echo, Dukumesh Pandim Elokem, Shehem Kumisha Chasodin, the Tal Hasheni, Dukumesh Pandim Elokem, Shehem Kumisha Divorce. So these are the Mochim, I guess the Das in continents. Then Mitzarfim as a Hamishim Osias Shih Sorry Shabbos Elokim. So he said apparently you take by there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 10 different names. You just take the letters by themselves, use it as a building block, and you have Espa Mem Chesha Harei B'Tevis Elokim, Yesh Chamesh Osias, Ve'es Shabbos Elokim, Hem as upon Mem Chamesh Osias, and he says Leficha came all in Yachta to be Shemoses. So therefore they come out together to be 50 letters. But after initially looking at Hebes Totalum, so now we got this word Totalum. The Zechus in the end of Kitzos gets voice of Totalum. Get a coaching shows your Anpin, Hema Saber Shevas Elokim, Misparam Tal. So we said that before, so that these are the different Elokims, and these are the Chasadim divorce the copies. The Hamishim Osias Pegam Gematria Yudmem, and he's just saying it over again. The Talta of the Yudmem, he misfired from the Gil's Tavis Tal. He said, now let's go of the name. A Yod to liberations, they're up to the Shuffle, Yod to the Moch, Bina shells, they're onto. So the Mimim, they come from the Binas, they're onto the left side. And then the Habachin of Hanikwas, ours, and then there's the beginning of hairs. Shame Yod and liberation is their onto, and they come from their onto, and then Shuffle, the Yod to the Moch, accomplishments, they're onto. So they extend out. They come out from the Wolf office, they're often here that they should Tafkin, Ben, Shloshim, Midis, Island. So if you start distinguishing between these 3 different types of hair, Shem Kotzim, Nivim, Saros, You see that they're the shortest of all of them. So there's long, short, middle. The has the arrows and the time the aim is passing of the mountains, so since the arrows themselves don't really spread. The Hain the Sha'arim is their Anton Levada, so they're really just what remains is their Anton. Rain is Pasha, or they're for him, he says it for him. Rain is Pasha in the model of the Partufim Machevim, and they don't go down further into other Partufim. Elohim Oros Mekifim is their Anton Levad, but their Oros Mekifim is their Anton only. He said, but Nimin by Yosef ben Reshid is their Anton. Now the Nimin, Haim Yosef Gedoiden, the Haruchim in the Sa'aras, they're longer than the hair. The Haim Sa'aras Bainim. So they're like a middle kind of category of hair. And then he says, V'kevin Nimin Haruchim in the Sa'aros, since they're longer than the hairs, the ones called Sa'aros, Haim is pashtin the mouth of the Sa'aros, so they pass them by. So therefore, those nimim that he's talking about here, they're a little longer, and as a result of that, now I was thinking he said taltalon, which means they're falling. So I guess Leah is at the neck of Zeranpin. So I guess they somehow grow out of the head of Zeranpin, and they're able to reach the head, the Leah, Reisha the Leah. Beim Asim Le or Makif, and there become a or Makif for Leah. Now there's one more, a couple more. He says V'hakotzim Hem Yotze Gedolim Baruchim. Now there's kotzim. These are bigger ones. They're longer. Mivein Shlosha, meaning that is between the use of the entry. That is between the Shlosha, meaning a Sa'ara Sheyesh and Zeranpin. Baruchim Golda Levahem and Sa'ara Vehem and the name is so they're really the long one. The Kedusha shall kutzim him aruchim. So since they're long, Yosef is arvan in it. So therefore, they're going to reach to the cause of the Zasha Sham Nimsa Rachel of Rachel, because then they're going to go all the way down. There's Rachel right there, Naasin-la or Makif, and they become an or Makif for Rachel. Okay, that's it today. Thanks for learning with me. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, Koto.